Hi, creative friends. This is Freya, and thank you so much for being here. It's been really super gloomy these past few days, and I am just kind of having to record my videos around whenever I get a little bit of natural light because I don't want to turn my art lights on. I do have my overhead light on, but I don't think that affects the colors and flattens them out as much as my art lights do. But this is the spread that I was working on. But before I dive into this, I just wanted to show you a few other portraits that I am working on, experimenting with, and I started all of these using the same, paint a monster kind of approach. So I'm just going to bring this up closer so you can see some of the beautiful color fields that are happening. And I'm so obsessed with working in this way. When I find something I really am interested in or I'm curious about, then I just kind of tend to go overboard a little bit. So I am just making all of these portraits that, like, look at this. This started off like painting a monster, and it's, I don't know, maybe 25% into the portrait, but just look at the rich colors. I'm so in love with working this way. And this too, like look at all the beautiful color fields and irregularities that are happening on the page. So, oh, and this one over here as well. Like I said, you guys, I'm kind of obsessed. And I'm varying like things a little bit. So with each portrait, like, I think with this one, I don't remember 100%, but I think I injected a lot of purples because, like, I can see the purple over here and see there's purples over here for shadows. So with each portrait that I'm doing, I'm not replicating it exactly. I am like varying different things. Like this one is a more kind of a subtle kind of color. And this one over here is like, as you can see, is just more dramatic. So I'm just kind of experimenting. Yeah, this one's dramatic also. And I'm just loving this. And also too, I'm using my Adirondack re-inkers because I found a whole bunch of them when I was cleaning up my studio. So I'm kind of experimenting with all different sorts of things. And this is just, this is just an art journal that I don't know. I don't have a theme or anything. It's not like my Healing Ancestral Trauma art journal. I mean, it is a Fabriano art journal, but it's more open-ended, I guess. So I'm going to paint over all of these anyways. So I'm not worried about, how they're going to turn out or anything like that. Now, with this over here, I think what I'm going to do is I am going to start adjusting some of the facial features just a little bit, more to my liking. So I'm going to move the nose up a little bit because so far for this portrait, I don't remember, but I don't think that I used my pencil and, put in my facial features and what have you. I don't think I did that. I mean, I could be wrong. But anyways, I'm just gonna kind of adjust things just a little bit here. And it is gonna look a little bit strange, but it's hard for me to tell if that's gonna work, but I'm just gonna keep on working at it. So I'm not sure if you guys are working in this way. I did see a person on my Instagram. They talked about working painting a monster, and I was just so thrilled with what they had posted. But it really is a very freeing way of working, and it's just so interesting to me. You know, just like, hey, I wonder what's going to happen. I wonder how it's going to turn out. I just never know. And even what might seem at the in the beginning like, oh, it's a negative, like, I had to move the facial features, and I kind of liked the way the lips were. I like the color field. But now I'm looking at it and I'm like, hey, but I kind of like this kind of weird thing that's going on with the lip over there too. So you just never know what's going to happen. And it's just a new way of working for me. Now, when I go back into my Healing Ancestral Trauma art journal, I am absolutely going to be taking these lessons with me. Which I talked about this before, like a cross pollination of ideas. I made a video on that. Why I love working from project to project to project, because, everything I learn in, like, say, what I'm doing here, I'm going to take that, and it might not look exactly the same when I work, when I go back to my Healing Ancestral Trauma art journal. Like, it might look differently, but it's still going to, it's going to make its way onto the page, whatever I learned. And I'm going to put some of that over there. And now these inks are really beautiful. I just happened to come across a basket of them while I was cleaning up my studio. So I'm like, hey, it's perfect for me working in this way. And I'm gonna so I'm gonna bring this up closer, you guys. So what I think when I was doing my still lifes, I don't remember. I think that's what it was. And I said, a color field is not one color. And there's lots of different colors that make up, just say you're painting a red sweater, for instance. Well, there's a ton of different colors and values and textures that go into rendering that red sweater, depending on the light, depending on this, that, whatever. So that's true for anything you're going to paint. Like if you're going to paint a flower, if you're going to paint skin, if you're going to paint anything, there's a ton of different colors and values and tints and hues and blah, blah, blah that go into all of it. So, like, see, it looks a bit jumbled up now, but it also gives a lot of life to whatever you are painting, and it just makes it more interesting. So what I'm doing is I'm just kind of like dragging some different colors and values. Ooh, like look at that. Ooh, I love that. And the eyebrows look like maybe it's too far up. Maybe. Another thing is that working in this way, like, it helps me loosen up because, um, you're not using your pencil to make a sketch. You're kind of just painting a monster. So it does help you loosen up quite a bit. And later on, you can go in there and you can change things around. You can move things around. Another thing, you guys, and I talked about this, I think I posted it on my, like, where you can post pictures, like in the community part of YouTube, is that when we're working, we work from dark to light. Like, we put in our darker values, and that doesn't matter, what you're painting, But we work from putting your darker values, and then we bring out the light. And doing this is kind of like sculpting with paint, that kind of, if that gives you a good visual. Um, and I'm just gonna kind of go like so. And I'm just gonna bring in like lots of different colors to the cheeks, and I want to get some pink going, and I also want to do that to the forehead too. And you guys, when I say that I am obsessed with working in this way, I literally mean it. Like I think I've made like I don't know, like maybe 15 portraits. And I'm just kind of like experimenting and just trying out like different things. It's just so freeing. And so I am going to kind of just drop some pink in there. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drop some of this blue ink here, just a little bit, and drag it into the hair here. Just drag a little bit into the corners there. Okay, you guys, I think I'm gonna let this dry, and I'm gonna come back. And what I've been doing is I've just been working like all the portraits I showed you, like, and I have more. Like I said, I'm obsessed with it. So what I'm doing is like I'm just working back and forth. So every time I make a video on this particular portrait, I will just go back and forth, and I'll show you like, hey, this is, you know, like this is the way this one is transpiring, etc. Just so you can kind of get different ways of working in this way. Like there's not just one way to work in this way. Like, you can set different parameters for yourself, and you can set different, I guess, constraints, or, a color palette. You can say, oh, I'm only going to use really dramatic values in the beginning, or whatever. Like it's all open ended. But anyways, yeah, like I said, I'm just so obsessed, you guys. But I do need to stop because I don't want, see, it's bleeding into the background, which is fine, but I don't want the background kind of bleeding into the face right now. Anyways, you guys, if you've watched all the way to the end, thank you so much, and thanks for following along. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.